another night back in the shop, working on getting it heated up in here. Trying to get a little bit more done on the Focus, just to order more parts tonight. So it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game for the front subframe and whatnot. But at least right now I can jump back on what I was working with on the brakes. Like I told you guys, I was waiting on some brake parts. This is why I like online shopping. I mean, the wait time's not the best thing in the world, but it's the convenience of the price. Got the brake stub cables that we needed to put in the backing plates because obviously the ones I had were no good. Unfortunately, I had to make a trip to my local parts distributor for a wheel cylinder because ultimately, after I turned the camera off, the other wheel cylinder I could not get the bleeder out of. Ended up shattering, or the brake piping, one of the two. Either way, had to go buy a new one because somewhere in this garage, probably upstairs, I probably have another new wheel cylinder. Can't find it for the life of me. Story of my life. I'll find it after I've already got everything reassembled. So tonight's focus is I'm just going to be trying to get his brakes back together. I did already bolt the other backing plate on the left rear, so we'll probably end up making our way over there eventually, I'm sure. But I'm going to get what I can assembled on this, going to put in our new wheel cylinder and the cable. Then I'll be able to bolt that one back on with the spindle. And it figures, because this one was all bolted on, I figured the wheel cylinder was moving, it was good. It was until I tried to take the fitting out, or the bleeder, one of the two, and it just shattered and I could not get it out. So, kind of unfortunate, but is what it is. The plus side is, this is the pretty simple part right now. Which, simple is always a nice thing some nights. That wants to clip in. There we go. And just like that, we got a functioning e-brake again. So there's a good thing. There's a bonus. Yes, you need to have that e-brake. Very important, because last thing you need to do is lose your main brakes on the racetrack and have nothing to stop you. So yes, 100% all brake components in all of our cars work, whether it's the hydraulics or the hand brakes. They work in all vehicles. You're important. I need you. Oh, bleeder screw for that. And of course, me being me, completely forgot to pick up new bolts for the wheel cylinder, so we're going to see if we can weasel the old ones back into it. They weren't the happiest looking, but they'll function at least. I thought I had a better set of bolts kicking around, but just like everything else in this workbench, I can lose anything. So, yeah, like I said, just got more parts coming for the Focus at this point. I'm going to do what I can for some content this weekend. As it is, like I said, I got to drop the subframe in the front. It's garbage. I also need to do CV axles and at least one of the struts because it's got a bad, it does have a bad coil. I have other parts to put in this from a salvaged car. So we should be able to get some more work done this weekend and make a decent video out of it. Why not? Trust me, it's going to be great when I can get some other people out here to talk with me, so it's not just 100% me always talking on a camera. Which eventually, yes, will happen, I hope. afraid of, so we'll see if different size fits. I literally think out of all the wheel cylinders that I pulled out of all the knuckles, I didn't have a good set of bolts between anything. But, pretty sure that was a smaller size now, they rusted. When in doubt, hammer it on. Just like that. All it's going to do is hold it. Doesn't have to look pretty. One. There's two. Perfect. Oh, man. And so we don't lose it, let's get that bleeder screw in place so I don't lose my mind later. Yeah, don't want to lose that. Perfect. That one side is all assembled. Or, yeah. The second side is assembled. The other side obviously already got assembled and I threw it back on the car. But like I said, I was hoping I wasn't going to have to take this side apart, but because the bolts were so stripped, I had to take it all apart just so I could actually get the correct size on there to pull those bolts out. So that's where we're at here. So, we got this all back together. Just need to get that spindle back in there. We'll get that bolted back on the right rear. We need to get the e-brake cable obviously in the left rear side, which is probably what we're going to be doing next. And see what we get done tonight. Just going to do a little bit of work out here. I think I may do more tomorrow. Might just see how long the propane holds up for the heater right now. It's finally getting a little comfortable in here so I can actually work. I am 100% ready for summer at this point. I do not like cold temperatures. They annoy me, but I'm trying to work through and get things done here. Just still plugging away at this one. So I think we're gonna reposition, move to the left rear, and we're gonna finish getting that all buttoned up with the e-brake cable and whatnot. So ultimately, lighting's not the best at night. I gotta work on getting some new light panels in. I had a few burn out, so I'm just running on standard LED bulbs that aren't as bright, so just bear with me. I got some light up in the wheel well, so I can kind of see what I'm doing at least. Get this all in. Of course, that side went easier than the other one. Go. So I got this side all back together. Well, the camera was off. Brand new brake line was run. So that's all squared away, ready to go. Got the cable in so I can get a hub drum back on there. And of course I gotta get this connector off so I can clip in the other one. I'm still questionable if my other brake cables are any good. I still have to test those, because if they're not any good and they're binding, I'm obviously going to have to replace them, which I'm probably going to have to anyway at this point. May give them a test and see if they work. Cool. If not the end of the world. But get at least that part done. We can get a hub drum back on here. At least that'll button up one side. Progress. It's a wonderful thing at this point. Still got a lot more to go, but step by step we're getting there. Gonna be exciting to see this car out on the track this year. See how it does. I'm definitely excited for it. Took a minute there. I had to find the best drum out of all the drums, and quite honestly, none of these drums are the best of shape because they are rusted, but I had to chip some pitting out of this one. Just so at least we have brakes. Good couple slams in these brakes will clear that rust up pretty quick though. But right now we have brakes that'll function and move. That's all that matters right now. And they're self-adjusting, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Once the brakes are applied enough times, they'll adjust where they need to be, especially for the e-brake. There we go. Perfect. I might have to see what I can do for some caps, because these have definitely seen better days, but I gotta put something in there to keep the junk out of the wheel bearings, especially when it comes to the dirt and the clay. But on the plus side, we have one side pretty much together. That's a good thing. And we'll be able to start getting these brakes bled out. Get some fluid going back down there. Still gotta finish bleeding out the clutch. That was never done in the video because I didn't get the camera out here soon enough. Had to do the clutch master let go, so that was leaking brake fluid. The clutch line system was horrid on this thing. The lines are all rotted out, so I also had to do those at the same time, but everything there is taken care of. I'm just trying to get the clutch bled out, and anyone who has worked on Ford knows how much of a nightmare they are to actually bleed out. Probably the worst clutch system that I've ever had to deal with compared to anything else, but once we get the other side taken care of, get the rear brakes bled right back out so we have stopping power. And once again, that just gets us that much closer to having this thing off the lift. Because we know I've already got enough more that I still got to keep working on at this point. Like I said, I really want to have 4 cars out there this year, but we're going to see what the dice roll says as far as being able to make that happen. But looks like we're done on this side, so we'll go to the other side. See how the other side goes back together. I'm going to get the bolts all lined back up. That might be a speed up montage. Depending how that goes, it also might be me having to montage it and speed it up so you don't hear me swear because something doesn't line up the 20 times that I try it. But, yeah, I was out here doing a little bit of work without the camera going. I just really needed to blare some music that night. Had a rough day, and of course, I can't have music going in the background because of copyright laws and whatnot. It is what it is. But, got a little bit done. I can show you another thing too. Got some red lights attached on the back of the Focus. I just need to wire those up so we have full functioning lights on the rear. But yeah, it did a little bit, not much. So, like I said, we got this side together. Now we'll move to the other side. Hopefully that light's not too blinding. And like I said, if I had a better light over in this corner, it wouldn't be so bad, but I'm also trying to eliminate a lot of glare that I get from lighting. So we're going to get this side back together. There we go. Yeah, sorry about not saying anything. The Focus was definitely real. The Focus was real. Yeah, this is real, all right. Just trying to get all these lined up. 2 pins there that are supposed to line up. I snug this bat together. I'm just trying to evenly get the bolts started so I can get these to go. hopefully that should go. So just to reiterate, yes, I do need to replace the e-brake cables because I forgot the one on this side does not move at all. So car will be 100% having all brand new e-brake cables going through it by the time that's said and done. So that being said, now I gotta get underneath there and tighten those bolts up. Ugh. Love rusty bolts. Not really. That was tight. Make sure these other three are tight. We'll be good to go. Give me my socket back now. There. Whew. All right, get that back in. Everything's squared away there. So y'all probably wondering. So I've been in the automotive field for 24 years now. It's all I've been doing ever since I was in high school. I started out as a tire changer, went to college, became a mechanic. Do I know it all? No. I do not know it all. I'll never admit to knowing it all. Yes, I was an ASE Master Tech at one time. Had all the master certifications. They lapsed, but I work at a dealership. It's a great job. I have no complaints against it. It's a great way to learn about a lot of the new technology that comes out. So I've been with the company for a while now. And it's definitely a far cry from independent shops working on this amount of rust. But for anyone that says dealerships don't work on rusty cars, that was a lie. We do work on rusty ones as well. But, so yeah, 24 years I've been a mechanic, and you're probably wondering, how are you managing to get through these videos without swearing? It's difficult, yes. So many times I'd like to, but for one, I really don't know how to do it in editing with the editor that I use right now. And for two, talking to the camera and knowing that people, adults, kids are going to be watching this, I'm actually keeping a professionalism about what I'm doing here. I'm showing my passion for our team in the racing world, my passion for working on cars that I have. I'm doing what I can to keep it professional. So that's why you're not hearing me swear. And I also give a lot of props to my guests that come on the Off the Dirt episodes. They've all been clean, talking and whatnot. It's been great, you know. And it's also the big thing too, keeping the drama out of everything. You know, talk about the good things, not the negative. And it's always been a wonderful thing. And thank you. I know you're dying. Well, we're down a light now. At the minute, anyway. And line up. Line it up. Oh, that thing's spread out too far. Yep. Alright. Well, I need to go fix this problem first. I'll be right back. Alright, get some light back on this subject. There we go. Alright, so back at it. Pull the adjustment in on that. You should go. Just like that. Alright. And of course I left the torque wrench on the other side, so I'll go around and get that. Of course. I'm going to do what I can to try and revise some of these gaps in my videos. I actually didn't believe that I recorded almost an hour's worth of content in that last episode. I honestly didn't know I was going for that long. It felt like a lot less than that, but I'm going to do what I can to cut out a lot of the dead spaces of video where I'm trying to find tools and whatnot. Beautiful. So, like I said, I've said it many times, I'm no editing master. I'm still working on my editing skills. Doing the best I can. So, it's work in progress, that's for sure. Do we have that brake hose clip? Yes, we do. When they tell you anything can be a hammer, yes it can. Pry bar will make a great hammer at a pinch. Now, yeah, I still gotta fix this shock scenario we have going on here with the suspension. Like I said, hopefully if once I get it back on the ground, everything will line up with the new control arms and whatnot. It's a wait and see game. Like I say, worst case scenario, if I gotta relocate and make new studs to hold the shock, so be it. You shouldn't have to, because these are supposed to be a factory replacement to restore camber. So, we'll see. I made that brake line a little bit longer than I needed to, but that's fine. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Working at the wrong angle for this. But I'll make it work one way or another. Always do. Long-winded threads. There we go. All right, we can finally take those off. Whew. Readjust there. Beautiful. That is looking good. We've got it back together. No one may have also probably not got the right wrench for the bleeders. Of course I don't. See if we can get some fluid going back here again. And we're back. We can get some fluid going back here because where I had the hoses put, oh, there we go, just like that. I am a full believer in the one-man brake bleed, especially with a lot of things that I can pinch a brake line off, because you don't need to sit there and bump the pedal numerous times getting air out. You line lock that when you're taking something off on a rubber hose. All you gotta do is get the air out of one location, and it doesn't even take long. So I've run into this many times where I don't even need to have someone come help me and bleed brakes, because all I gotta do is, once I see the fluid and get some bubbles out, I'll give it a couple bumps of the pedal, come back out, leave the cap off the master, crack those open. A little bit of air comes out. It's normally not much because you're only bleeding from that hose up to this cylinder. So, quick, simple, that's all I needed. So that did not take much. We've already got fluid coming out. So the only thing I know that it's going to take a little bit, because it's going to be pedal travel, is because that's going to be adjusted up still. That'll adjust up as the brakes are being pumped. It's a self-adjuster that'll end up pulling itself apart and adjusting properly to where it needs to be. So, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get the brake split out, and I'll be back. So yeah, it's been a long couple weeks, but the result, we finally have the rear subframe, rear suspension, brakes all reassembled. I have not tightened up the wheels yet. Working on that. I had a little glitch out. Also didn't realize that the drum on the other side had a messed up wheel stud. We're going to try and rethread that. If we can rethread it and save it, great. If not, it means I got to pull that drum back apart and change out a stud, but that's literally least of my concerns right now. But just the fact that we have this, minus the main e-brake cables. We got this all back together. Huge step. Thankfully that's over with. Definitely a headache, but the plus side, this car has so many new parts in it right now, as well as what's going to be going into the front once we get to that stage of it. Well, new and used. Like I say, we got parts from the parts rig that we salvaged out. That we got some good struts and coils. We got CV axles that we can get put in this car. So yeah, with any luck this weekend, it's already Friday, the weekend's here, but with this weekend, hopefully we'll be out here doing some more. Start getting this front end torn apart. Start getting ourselves closer to getting this thing race ready. Still got a lot to do, but we're getting there one step at a time, that's for sure. And you'll get to hear more of me rambling and talking about this, that, and everything else, because, well, gotta have something doing. No one's out here with me, that's for sure. I'll talk to a camera, doesn't bother me one bit. But in any case, we got one big step done again, which is huge. Move on to the front next. Still got small things that we got to be buttoning up. I got to work on the rear bumper. I want to cut, readjust. I want to bend that in, whatnot. Interior, we got a few holes that we got to get sealed up and whatnot. Still got to make the strap on the battery box, obviously. And then everything we got to do in the front. We got those rocker pieces that we still need to get cut up, put over. Make it look pretty, at least for its first race. After that, pretty goes out the window. But we make it functional, that's for sure. Still going to work on that shock issue, but that's, like I said, that's a back burner thing right now. We got to get the front end of this car taken care of, and then as soon as I can get this thing back sitting on all four tires, see where these shocks are going to be at, see if I can get these bolted in or not. Then after that, it's going to be getting the suspension adjusted the way that we need it for the track or whatnot. So, still got a lot to do, but we're going to keep chiseling away at it, that's for sure. Supposed to be warm this weekend, which is great. Maybe I can run the heater less and stay comfortable working out here. But I know I probably said it, I don't know how many times, but hopefully soon we're going to be able to do the reveal short on Bam's car for the season. Rip the Tercel. If you haven't seen that video, go over to our YouTube channel and check out Death of the Tercel. Good little car, had a good run. Time to retire it though, obviously. We blew it up. New car though, definitely here. I'm going to have to put some work into that because we bought it, put it in the backyard, and it's been sitting there since we got it. Again, as soon as we have enough time to go out there and do a reveal video, we're going to reveal it. So, got to get with Spud, get some more short ideas going for me and Spud. We haven't done one since our Christmas one. We obviously missed out on doing something for a Valentine's Day short funny, but we're doing what we can. But I got to get with Spud, get a potato in his mouth. We got to figure out some plans for that and whatnot. As always, you know, there's more to come. Catch you in the next one.